This segment is sponsored by CompredoBJJ.com.
Ingo Weigold here at Flow MMA with UFC middleweight Demian Maia. Demian, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Can you tell us, why are you here in Chicago?
I'm here to train wrestling with some guys at Overtime Academy. I came here twice already, and this is my third time, and it's great there. They have great coaches like Sean Bormé, John, and other guys, and they have great fighters like Jake Herbert, the #1 185 wrestler in the United States right now. There's another good wrestler, so it's perfect for me. I came here 2 times before, like I said, and it's always good.
Great. Now, is there anyone else you're working with for the training camp? I know you in the past you're working a lot on your stand-up. Is that still the case, or what are you up to this training camp?
Yeah, of course. You know, I work in Brazil a lot in stand-up, and I will come back to Brazil and still work in stand-up. And even here, I'm more concentrated in wrestling, but there's a Cuban guy, Gustavo Piquet, there, which is a very, very good coach. You know, I train with him twice in a week when I'm there just to keep, you know, my stand-up. But when I'm there, my focus is on wrestling.
Okay, and it's no secret that your upcoming UFC 131 opponent, Munoz, likes to control the fight from the top with his ground and pound.
Yeah.
Now, given that you're working on your wrestling, do you feel like you can stop that, or do you think you're going to spend a lot of time working off your back for a submission?
Actually, you know, this wrestling camp for me is, for me, like wrestling is something inside Jiu-Jitsu. We train takedowns in Jiu-Jitsu, but the wrestlers, especially like over time, they are so good. They know a lot of details that they can bring us a lot of things. They can, you know, they teach me a lot of stuff, and that's good. So when I train wrestling here, it's not because Munoz or like, you know, the previous fight, because another guy. It's just because I want to develop as a fighter, and it's something. It's a, you know, good skill, very good skill to have, because when you have a good takedowns, you can control the fight if you want to stand up or if you want to go to the ground. And so it's something that I do because I want to be a better fight. The strategy is something different, but the wrestling I do because, you know, I like and I think it's important.
Okay, great. Now, since your Nate Marquardt fight, you've had 4 straight decisions, where prior to that, you were actually finishing guys quite handily. Yeah. What do you think has changed? Is there anything you're doing different that's causing that, or?
I think because, you know, it's always, I think when I was developing the stand-up that I didn't do too much before, so I think there's like, you start work a lot of in stand-up. Of course, I still work in Jiu-Jitsu, but when I went to those fights, I was not totally focused on submit the fight. I was focused on just fight. So I think before I was like, when I put the guys down, I was desperate to submit. I don't want the fight to come up, stand up again. I was going straight to the submissions, and now I'm more relaxed, and I think that's good. But at the same time was bad because I couldn't submit the fights. But I think now, you know, as I adjust that again, I will be a much better fighter. I will be like the same, you know, with the same ground, submitting fights, but at the same time, much better stand-up fighter.
I see.
So it's just, I think, a matter of time.
Okay. You're working on it, basically.
Yeah, of course, and I keep working hard in Jiu-Jitsu. So, you know, it's something that I never, you know, that's my when I go to a cage and I go fight, you know, I'm very proud to represent BJJ. So I go there, you know, if I can choose a way to win, if I had this, you know, power, I would say always submission. So, you know, that's something that I always keep working. But as I'm a fighter, you need to work everything.
Okay, great. Now let's talk a little bit about your future. A lot of guys right now are dropping weight, it seems. Do you think 170 is something that's possible for you, given the fact you've already, you know, challenged for the title at 185?
It's something possible, but I think it's possible. You know, it would be hard for, but I think I can do that. But I'm not worrying about that right now. I think I will have another chance when I prepared. And I think, you know, if I do my best and keep doing my best like I'm doing all the time, I think I have the chance to win, you know, the title. So I wanna keep trying 185.
Okay, I mean, of course, not looking past Mark Munoz, there's a couple guys I think would be awesome matchups for you. Number one being Jason Miller, who just signed with the UFC. I think that would be a great fight for you. And then I know you've called out Bisping in the past.
Yeah.
Would you consider either of those guys maybe for a title run, given that they're, you know, at least Bisping is kind of in the mix for that at this point?
Yeah. I really, you know, especially now because it's so nearby my fight, I don't care. I just want to focus on Munoz right now, and doesn't matter what's going to happen after.
Okay. Understood. Now, I've noticed recently, too, that wrestlers are really starting to dominate a lot of the different weight classes. What do you think it's going to take for jiu-jitsu to kind of make a comeback and be able to overcome that smothering style that a lot of these guys have?
No, I don't think it's wrestling. I think, you know, there is just good fight. Like George St. Pierre, he's a good wrestler, but he's not a wrestler. You know, Jose Aldo is not a wrestler. Anderson Silva is not a wrestler. So I think, you know, there's good wrestlers. They are good athletes. They always will doing well. But nowadays it's not about style that much.
All right, given your background in jiu-jitsu, obviously, a lot of fans want to know recently who's the best guy you've rolled with, and besides yourself, who do you think has the best jiu-jitsu in MMA right now?
The best guy that I roll lately, there's a guy that I've been training on my last fight. His name is Antonio Peinado. He's Brazilian champion no gi, and he got third in the world champion. He's very, very, very good. There's many guys, but this is the guy that I just trained with him. He's super heavy, I think, in jiu-jitsu. He's very good, and maybe I will bring him. I introduced him to Dos Santos, and Dos Santos brought him to help him in the Ultimate Fighter. He is the jiu-jitsu coach for this guy. He's very good.
Okay, and I've noticed looking at the upcoming Olympics, I still don't see jiu-jitsu as a sport there. Do you think that's something that's going to happen soon, and what do you think it's going to take to get it there?
I don't know. It's very sad, you know, especially because the Olympic Games in Brazil.
Right.
You know, in Brazil, the guys don't care about, you know, sports too much. We have good athletes, but Brazil doesn't care too much about sports, like the politician and the government, and don't support sports. So it's hard, you know, because I saw a lot of very good guys, like talented guys, and they don't have the opportunity to grow.
Okay. Now for the card that you're on, you know, Brock Lesnar's fighting Junior Dos Santos. What do you think is going to happen in that fight?
You know, Junior is a big friend of mine. Comprido trains Brock, but of course, you know, I train with Junior. I hope he wins. Okay. I don't care how. I hope he wins, but you know, it's a tough fight. Brock is a great athlete. You know, I like to see how he developed and how hard. You know, I know Comprido trains him, and you know how professional he is. But you know, I train with Dos Santos, and man, this guy has the biggest heart that I ever saw. You know, it's an inspiration to train with him. You know, when I train him and I see him in my side, and I'm getting tired to hit the bag, and I see him going harder and harder. You know, it's an inspiration, makes me train harder. So you know, he's a great friend of mine. I hope he wins. Great.
Is there anything you want to say to the fans or anyone you want to thank before we go?
I want to say to the fans that, you know, let's hope. I want to come back with my submissions, but you know, I keep working hard on my jiu-jitsu, and let's see what's gonna happen. I will give my best to at least give the best fight that I can to the fans.
Great. So Demian Maia this summer, UFC 131 versus Mark Munoz. Demian, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.